Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Okay, we're going to start here on SPY. We're going to go over QQQ, and then we're going to go over DXY, and then we shall go over Mr. VIX. And then I do have two trade setups that are looking pretty clean right now that I am focusing on at the end of the video. Get into it. SPY, you clearly do see on the hourly time frame we have this trend line. We did get another touch point today. We got another bounce off of said trend line this morning. It is going to depend what happens here as things get tight. We're getting tight here in between this resistance and this trend line. We're going to either get a break up or you're going to get a breakdown. Market doesn't know what it wants to do right now, but it's going to know soon. All right, it's going to know soon. We just literally have to wait. Let's go over what we're watching for. As of right now, you have a low, you have a higher high, you have a higher low, followed by a lower high, and now you have a higher low compared to over here. So I'm just going to say the trend is neutral right now, completely neutral. But in the grand scheme of things, here on the 4-hour time frame, you can't see. We just have this low here, this high, and then this is just low here. If you break up to a new high, you're still in an uptrend. There you go. But as of right now, the trend is neutral. That is that. All right, now we come over here to the daily time frame, and you do see we just have another long wick to the upside here. This candle right here, as we went over in yesterday's video, was validated as a bull trap because we swept the lows, which means anybody who bought anything during this candlestick, this day right here, last Friday, was trapped. They were not in the green. There you go. Large upper wick. Today, we have the same thing. You had buyers step in. You now are having them not commit. You want to see them commit. Now we're going to go over a bunch of different tickers here this video. We're going to show, what happened yesterday and then what's going on today with them. But I'm just going to say this doesn't look too convincing to me over here on SPY. Now jumping over here to QQQ, you can see we do have the same thing. Now, maybe some people were like, Henry, what are you talking about? You think you're now going to get a bounce even though you came over here and swept these lows? Yeah, because you had a bullish reversal candlestick. You typically aren't going to see, downside following these. They can lead to some downside, like right over here. You did end up coming over here, sweeping these lows. And then boom, after that next candlestick, the indecision candlestick, the doji, there you go. You had a big, fat, nasty red day right there. But, all right, the next day, I was thinking we're either going to trade flat here, all right, and stall out at this trend line, which as of right now, we're still doing that. We're still just literally just stalling out right here at the back test of this trend line. Now, let me take this off. Let me just declutter our chart here. All right, right here, this is an important spot. If you get under 385.80, that is when I say this all the way down here, 384 is on the table. And underneath 384, you're really looking to come all the way down here to 378 and then really just 374. That's really what I'm paying attention to over on QQQ. Now we're going to go over SMH. All right. Now, this is actually one of the trade ideas. We're just going to jump to it because I do believe semis lead the NASDAQ and the NASDAQ leads the S&P 500, the overall market. So we're going to talk about this trade setup right now. All right. Now, you could say we clear as day have started leading the market lower over here in SMH compared to QQQ. SMH broke down first, QQQ then broke down. We talked about this, all right? Just like when SMH broke out here, we were thinking NASDAQ was going to then break out, and then SPY ended up breaking out. They all followed each other. Now they're following each other down. Now you have SMH break it down. You had a, you came back down to the lows over here on November 28th. When did you do so on QQQ? Yesterday, all right? December 4th. It is only a matter of time, in my personal opinion, till we do that on SPY. So I do think that one is next up. We're just going to have to see what happens there. We pointed out you did have, all right, the RSI here was at 74, so that's kind of a big deal there. You did see a $5 decline, but over here on QQ, guys, we did end up finally seeing a decent-sized pullback. We had an $11 pullback. Now, is it going to skyrocket back up to new highs? I have absolutely no idea what happens from here, but I'll tell you what I'm watching for. You broke this trend line right here. You could very clearly see it on the hourly time frame. You're still stalling out at that trend line. We're in an important spot. Just like over here, it's getting tight on SPY. And this, it's kind of making a little pennant here. And this could honestly just be a bear flag from here. All right, you can very clearly see that going on right there. If you break down, well, you're probably not going to hold this. You're probably going to do something like that. Probably going to have buyers stepping up here for at least something. Maybe people are going to be like, oh, inverse head and shoulders, and then maybe you flush from there. I have absolutely no idea how this goes. I'm just going to continuously let you guys know day to day what I am watching for. And these are the things I'm watching for. All right, but back to over here on QQQ, you're in this important spot. All right, and semis have already really started breaking down. All right, not just came back down to this low over here. You've already started breaking down. So I do think QQ is probably going to be the next one to come all the way down here and fill this gap over at 378. I think it's probably going to happen. All right, but send back over here to SMH. What is the trade idea? All right, well, you can see here on the hourly time frame, you just keep getting walked down here. All right, just like you were walked up. All right, like every single time, you just kept having these little, consolidations here, and you just kept going up. All right, the whole entire time. No, you keep going. All right, I know there's more. There you go. So this whole time we've had these, and this is the base that formed, just like over here, I was saying, it's not really looking too hot. And now we've broken down from this. If you actually just put a trend line here, all right, go like that. Let me make this a little cleaner, all right? Let me just go like this. Boom. All right. Now you literally just had this going on here. All right, you had your little consolidation here. You broke under the consolidation. You're pretty much just, you're trading down right now. You're getting walked down is what I'm getting at. Just like you got walked up over there. I think you're getting walked down right now. All right, like you continuously just had these things happen. I think this is the next leg that's probably going to be taking place here. All right, your stop would be at 158.25. Get above there, just wait to try it out again. You could take the paper cut loss to wait to try it out again. All right, but the trade plan, take profit levels are as follows. These gray levels right here. You can see right here, 156.60, 156, 154.50. That is really what I will be looking for here. I do think you see a deeper decline. What am I doing? I could easily just go like this. I do think you see a deeper decline, but, after a certain point, I'm just going to say I'm going to be looking to buy the dip across the board. But SPY, I really am very interested in buying that dip personally over at 440. All right, starting at 440. I don't think you're going to get a major correction here, but you could. All right, and I'll keep buying the dip all the way down to 425. That is at least my plan on this pullback. But all right, so now let's take a look at DXY. This is why overall I'm like bearish on this market right now. Like obviously you've went straight up, but DXY is looking pretty immaculate over here in terms of a reversal. All right, you had this trend line break right there, break and retest. You then pumped your head up to the next trend line right here. You got rejection yesterday. What happened today? You're getting a breakout. Didn't really matter where you drew this trend line. You could have it right here, and you could have gotten rejection yesterday. All right, or not yesterday, but on Friday. And then, or you could have it right here with that touch point to that one. And then boom, we have 3 touch points today as your breakout. So that is what I was looking for yesterday in the Discord. I was looking for DXY to potentially break out over the next few trading sessions, 1-2 trading sessions. It does look like we're getting it right now. You got 6 hours, 7 hours left on the trading session over here. So, it is possible to get a big, fat, nasty wick like this or like that. I just don't think it's going to be happening. Now, I will also point out you are at an important spot over here on DXY. All right, I'd argue right here is where you want to be closing above. I understand there's a big wick there, but right here, you could see, you got that going on there. That wick right there, obviously, that includes this big guy right here. All right, but doing so, I do think you then trade up to this next level up there, which was a big spot over there. Okay, and we could really just clean up the chart right there. Let's just go like this. There you go. All right, that's what I'm really looking for over here on DXY. Let's jump over to Mr. VIX. You did break your trend line here, your downtrend. This was actually a parallel channel, if I'm remembering correctly. You can kind of see it going on right there. All right, break and retest right there. That is what's going on today. I understand it does not look good for Mr. VIX, but, all right, in the grand scheme of things, with everything we've discussed, I think, we are seeing a setup to, this thing's going to push up to 15, guys. You don't get really bullish on the market when you got VIX as RSI just sitting down here, just like you don't get what am I talking about? All right, yeah, then you don't get really bearish. Okay, I was thinking correctly. I'm sorry. I'm talking opposite to SPX, so I was thinking I was messing something up, but no. All right, guys, when VIX's RSI gets up here, you look for it to cool off. When VIX's RSI gets down here, you look for it to cool up. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, guys, so let's now go over the final trade setup, okay, which I haven't got an alert for, so I guess it is going decent. All right. I pointed this out in yesterday's video. Neo was getting ready to go. Okay, and I do think it just started getting ready to go. And speaking of getting ready to go, let's actually take a look at Carvana after this. We can, right after this, we're going to take a look at some chip names just to go along with the SMH one, because I do think we're seeing overall weakness across the board, and chips lead. All right, so if something's going to go down first, it's going to be SMH. Just putting that out there. But yeah, as far as Neo goes here, guys, this is pretty sexy to me. Looks really good. All right, you can even put on extended hours here, and like, you know, things don't look bad at all, even in the slightest. They look really freaking good. All right. Above here, guys, as long as you hold this low, as long as you hold above 743, I'm bullish on this. All right. You pretty much had this range down here. Even if you come all the way down here to 730, there you go. I'll probably just try it out. I don't know. I would say underneath 755, you're probably going to trade down to over here at 744. You know, if you want a really tight stop, there you go. But yeah, but as long as you hold above this trend line, guys, you're just getting the back test right now, and I think you do have room up to $8, and then all the way up here at 850, which is clear as day. You could see this is where the action was, and I think that is where you're heading. All right, you were setting up with that base here. Now you have launched. All right, now let's take a look at some of these chip names and some of these bigger names. Actually, Tesla is something I was also paying attention to. This is another trade idea for you guys if you want. I'm not taking this one, but you know, there is that. I think Tesla's looking really freaking sexy. All right. Like, you had consolidation here. It was an inverse head and shoulders. We pointed this out. You literally came back and you back tested this level right here. You're breaking retest level. Boom. Now you just have this bullish 2-week consolidation. All right. How many bars we got going on here, guys? We have 15 bars. It's almost 3 weeks of consolidation here. I think Tesla is getting really ready to break in one direction or the other. You could see traps down here. You could see traps up here. Which one is it going to be? I don't know, but I think it's probably going to be to the upside, considering that RSI is not overbought yet. And yeah, you've had a lot of taps on this trend line here. You've already had 4. I think on the 5th one, you're probably going to see some action like this. And this might be something I'm potentially interested in. But, you know, I'm going to try and use small size if I'm playing Tesla. I'm going to be honest. Tesla's kind of, you know, Tesla's a beast. So also has definitely tricked me in the past. All right, but typically we see pretty clean setups over here on Mr. Tesla. You had the same thing going on over here. This first consolidation broke up into the next consolidation for 2 weeks. Well, guys, is that now very similar to what we have going on right here? And then guess what? You broke up. So maybe we're going to come up here, maybe stall out somewhere between 257, 266. All right, that is where I would expect sellers start stepping in here. And then you get a back test. And sorry about that, guys. The video stopped recording, but we're just going to pick off where we left off. All right, pick up where we left off. There you go, guys. I think we get another leg up over here on Tesla. These gray levels are what I would be using for my take profit levels. There you go. All right, and speaking of take profit levels, boom. Carvana ended up hitting everything in one day. I ended up getting one contract of this, and this thing ran over 100% too quick, but it was like too quick to alert anything on this guy. Guys, if you were watching this thing went crazy yesterday. I don't think this is it for Carvana, guys. I think this thing is going to pull back here. You're probably going to pull back anywhere between, let's just get rid of all these, you know, gray lines here. All right, you're probably going to pull back to 3650. That's where you broke out from, anywhere from 3480 up to 3650. So I am really looking for something like this. And then, guys, I think you come all the way up here to $46. All right, you don't really have anything until 46, 47-ish up here. I think this is overall the trajectory of this chart. This was your base down here. We've talked about a few bases in this video. This is it. I also mentioned Baba. I said to like keep a close eye on it. I'm just going to say right now, this thing does look ugly. All right, until it stops just doing what it's doing. All right, I pointed this out in the other day's video. You keep just having bear flag after bear flag, and then boom, gap day. You're going to walk down like every single day. Ugly. All right, you can't be touching it right now, but hey, whenever it forms a base, something like this, we'll be watching it. You started the base over here. I was definitely interested. You just couldn't do it. All right, you're dying over here. You're dying. but yeah, guys, like you're getting down. Like if you guys, if we see this thing somehow at $60, like everybody and their mothers better be just buying like 90 to 120 days out on Baba and just waiting for your money to print, because it's gonna happen. All right. All right. Every time it gets walked down, it gets walked back up. Just wait for it to base. Okay. And the RSI is just now getting oversold. All right. So like you got a base here, failed attempt. I think that's, probably where we're at right now. You can go decently lower here. You can go another $10 down. Keep it on the watch list. All right. I'm actually just I'm gonna put an alert right here in case I don't see it. I'm definitely gonna be watching it, but yeah, just in case. All right, guys. So I think that is pretty much it. I did say I want to show you guys what I was looking at on these chip names, but that's influencing my decision over there on SMH. Guys, you're just breaking down on some of these, all right? AMD, you already started to break down on support. DSM, you already started to break down on support. I understand you are like kind of right at support on these names, but all right, the fact that you're not seeing buyers commit after yesterday's candlestick really doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I think we're probably going to continue that pullback, all right? Probably, probably decent ways. Avgo as well. You're breaking down. That is not something, I mentioned this in yesterday's video as well. This thing was looking like a monster. So far, so good. But today, what is going on? What's going on, NVIDIA, what's going on? You do have buyers stepping up, but why you got this upper wick going on here? We're going to really have to see what happens. NVIDIA is right there at the 50% retracement, though. Coming over here to some of these big tech names, all right? You are, I will admit, all right, in some of these, you are getting some commitment. But again, what is up with these large upper wicks? Does not make sense to me. That's why I think we're probably going to get a pullback. Apple blew my mind today. I don't know what to say about this one. This thing has ran up to a new high, but yeah, all right. What is on this volume? What is this? Now, it is only 12 o'clock. You're going to have increasing volume on the day, all right? But the fact that you did that move with low volume, all right, we're going to have to see how this shapes up into the end of the day. If you get a large upper wick, don't be bullish on Apple. Tesla's the only big one I'd really say, like, hey, watch for the breakout. I'm going to do that. We'll just add one right there. All right. I'm going to see if that happens in the short term. I hope so. That would be pretty cool. All right. TLT, guys. This thing's in an upslipping channel. I'm just kind of going through the watch list right here. All right. But yeah, guys, with that being said, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Everybody have a lovely rest of your day, and peace.